All right, guys, we got a 2009 Mazda 6. We got battery light on, and this is a 4-cylinder. I'll show you the engine size up on the top, but we're gonna replace the alternator. By watching this video, you should be able to replace the alternator. Here's the alternator that we got, Remy. This is what it looked like in here. It has a bolt, 3 bolts, and we're gonna take off the belt from right here, so we have the wheel off, but we need to take off this cover. So the cover has a whole bunch of clips, some are missing, so let's take off this cover first. Okay, so start off, you want to take off these clips. There should have been a clip right there similar to this one right here. So this baby come out, you need some type of flathead screwdriver or a fork to go right between that and remove that. And then you got one on this side. Let's bring the camera on this side and bring my light on this side. Okay, so this little guy right here, it's all busted, but it's a Phillips head screwdriver looking clip. So you gotta go soft on it, because every time you turn it, it's gonna try to go back in. So that's what's exactly happened there. So usually what I like to do is I like to go use my fork here right there, put it on the neck. If this breaks, that's fine. So worst come to worst, I might end up breaking this guy, and there's not much you could do with this guy right here. So let me see if I can fish it out from this end. And there you go. So the clip just, it wasn't even holding, it's still on. The clip is still on, but your cover should come down. Okay, so your cover on this side, now working on this side. So your cover should simply just come out of there. And okay, we don't want to break nothing any further. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get the belt off. So let me grab my camera. We have our tensioner right here. So if you want to go further with this, there's probably more clips in here. Usually I just let it sit to the side here, and I have more than enough space to work on this little guy. So we need to go get 14mm, and we're gonna yank this tensioner to remove the belt. Okay guys, so I got a 15mm on this. So it's a 15mm wrench, not a 14. So you yank on this, and what you do is you need to pull the belt off of any pulley you like. So what I'll do here is I'll just take it off. Okay, I don't want to take it off here, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take it off another pulley that I think is fair enough. But okay, so but I'm disturbed here a little bit with the camera in the way. Let's see if I can manage to get my hands on the alternator up here. Just don't hurt yourself if you're doing this. Take it easy, take your time. Okay, so my hands are tired, but I haven't got the belt off yet. I'm gonna, almost is off. It's a tight little spot. Okay. Okay. There you go. Got the belt off, so go slowly. You don't want to hurt your fingers. Get pinched up in here. So that's it. We got the belt loose. Anyways, we're gonna go back up. So all we did here was we pull on this tensioner. Okay, this was the tensioner right there, and the belt is loose. So let's go from the top. Okay, so to change this alternator, number one thing you want to do is disconnect your battery. You could take off the negative, put it to the side, but the customer said they don't want to lose the radio code. I told them I have no option. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the battery for sure, and then we're gonna work all over here. So everything, we're gonna take off these two 10mm, 1, 2, and there's like an 8mm looking right here, and this cover should come off. We'll pop this clip, and then we start removing the connector, and then we got the bolt here and 2 in the bottom. So we'll do it all together. So let's start off by taking off the battery. Okay, so my friend Julie's car, and I don't want her to lose any radio codes if the car has it. So I'm gonna show you my way, guys. I was ready to take off that, but we're gonna do it the hard way, okay? And just gotta be precautious, okay? That's a lot of precautions here. So let's start off by removing this little guy here. Let's see if my number 8, okay, let's see if my number 8 works on this. Okay, this is the number 8 right here. Let's put in our gear wrench. Okay, that's the wrong way. Let's switch sides. Okay, no good. Let's switch sides. So we need to turn this counterclockwise. There you go. Okay, this isn't going to turn anymore. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this baby off by hand, and then hopefully there's none in the bottom. If there's any in the bottom, I might go down there, fish them out. So there's one. Let's put it to the side. I'm going to get these two right here, and the shield should come off. But prior to that, let's grab our tool right here, the fork, and let's remove this little guy right here. You can push on the tabs in the back, but usually I just try to smack it out of there with this little guy. Okay, after that, you got one over here, which is all crispy and broken, and then you got one over here. This should come off, but we don't need to get that far. So let me go get number 10. So what we got next is number 10 gear wrench here. So we're gonna remove this little guy. Okay, I think this should come off with that. I think so. Okay, you know what? Instead of that, let's take off the number 8 right here as well, and that should work out better for us. Okay, this should work out better for us right here. So there's two number 8s on this baby. I think it's loose, but not loose enough, so it's gonna block my view here. This harness is all crispy, torn apart. That's the heat. That's what the heat does. So I'm gonna get this guy off right here, and hopefully my whole shield just comes off with it. There you go. There you go. We got this whole thing right here. Come on, there you go. The whole thing is gonna come off with the two number 8s. So I'm gonna tighten this one back in, and what I want to do next is I want to disconnect. There should be a bolt down here, so we're gonna pop this cover open, and oh, it's hot, so we're gonna give it time to cool off. So pop this guy open. I'll show you how this works, and then you should be able to access the bolt back there. It's probably number 12 or so. So right over here, so you see how I popped it open? You guys can see it right down here. It's gonna be hard to see, but that's what it is. You can even bring this whole thing up with the alternator, and there's probably a harness going to it. Okay, let's see what we got on the new alternator. So we got a connector right below it. You see that right there? Come on. Get out of this box. So we got 2 bolts here and here, and what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off these and this. I'm gonna bring the whole alternator with it, if that is possible. If this wiring, okay, this whole harness is all one piece, we could just remove the whole thing outside here. Okay, I just want to see if there's something else. There's 2 wiring down there. I'm right in the bottom again. Let me fix my light up. So right here, you see there's a crank sensor over here. So what I want to do is to make my life easy. Let me show you what I'm about to do right now. As you can see from right here, there's a harness and a harness and a harness. All that harness. Okay, you see the wiring coming down? Comes down to the crank sensor. So we're gonna just disconnect the crank sensor. We're gonna pop off the 2 bolts on the alternator from right here, and then we'll just take the whole harness up, and we'll finish it up down here. But anyways, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take number 8 here, we're gonna disconnect this guy right here. Don't worry, you're not gonna destroy anything. And this guy comes off, and we can just take the harness and the sensor with. I don't want to disconnect that sensor because the wiring looks all crispy and it's gonna crack. So all I need to do is, now I got the crank sensor sitting right there, I need to remove the 2 bolts on the alternator. Okay, so I got a 13 millimeter, about 2 feet long extension with my electric drill. I pre-loosened those bolts, so this is just a preview for you guys to see. And this baby comes out, and I still haven't taken the top on out because that's gonna be the last one. And this baby comes out. A little bit more. There you go. Both should be out. One, two, same size. Both are out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sensor sit right here. So it's attached to a little clip right here. So you're gonna have to remove this little tiny clip right here. The holder right there is holding the wiring right there, right behind the tensioner. Hard for me to get the light in there, but right there, you guys can see it. So I'm gonna take that off, and it should be a go-go. Okay, now from up top, we're gonna need a 13 millimeter. You could use a ratchet, wrench, or the socket that we using. Got a long ratchet, so I have good force here. Very simple. So now the problem is you cannot drop that alternator, because if you drop it, you're gonna stretch all these lines. So you need to hold on to it. At the same time, you need to take off the bolt. So just put your hand in the back of it like that, and you should be able to bring out the alternator up here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Once I have it up here, I'm gonna put it over here so you guys can see. So it's nice and loose. Okay, so I got this guy out. Like I said, you're gonna come out through here. You're gonna have to wiggle these two out, these 2 pieces. So and you got your crank sensor hanging there. Close this back. You don't want this thing touching anywhere, causing an arc. So we're gonna take off this guy. We're gonna remove this guy right here, and we're gonna install. So we're gonna do it the other way around, okay? Because this is plug and play. We should be able to just connect everything while alternator is over there. Just removing is gonna be hard. So now we should be able to take this stuff out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna pop this cover open one more time, squeeze, and it should open. This is like a 12 millimeter here. 13 might not fit on it, but let me try 13. Okay, 13 fits on it as well, so you can use a 13. And we need to take off this little guy, so you're gonna have to squeeze really hard. Oh, see, that's the problem. They always break. So I'm gonna have to either change this connector or glue it up really good. So let's use a pick. That's exactly what I didn't want happened. Okay, when you buy cheap tools, this is what happens. Wiggle, waggle, waggle. Got me a real snap on right here. I'm hoping this didn't break. That's just okay. It didn't break. That's just how it is. Okay, still working. Okay, so let me bring the camera closer so you guys can see. So pretty much you squeeze on this and this comes out. Okay, that's how that is. So it didn't break. It just let go from me. I felt it like it cracked. So that's a good thing. So all I need to do is take off this 13, and I got me some electric tape. Since we didn't disconnect the battery, which I think you should do it, but according to the customer, they have a radio code. I'm not sure if this vehicle has it, but it's different. So we don't want to destroy any radio stations or lose the memory on the idle on the throttle body, or if it has a radio code, the anti-theft is gonna come in. But anyways, let's just keep it alive, and you're gonna see me put tape on it. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna loosen this guy up slowly and easy. There you go. Loose. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be prepared with electrical tape, so that way we don't short circuit this by touching it anywhere on the frame of the vehicle. So let's remove this little guy. Okay, we also gonna have to open up this little cover. So it has two little notches. This guy comes off, so we probably put this onto the new alternator just like that. There you go. So we take our electrical tape, we tape this baby up really good so he can't cause any damage to anything else, and that's it. We just let it just sit over here somewhere, and we'll drop this baby in later on. Anyways, the alternator is free of his job. We got this little guy that we could probably take off this, throw it onto the new alternator if it fits. Anyways, this baby is out of the way. So we got our new alternator. Here's our new alternator. Looks the same thing. So one thing I want to tell you guys is you want to get a file. Okay, get a file. If it has paint on it, just scrape it off. Here. Okay, and on all four sides, three sides of all of these. Okay, just scrape it off. Because remember, the body of the alternator is, okay, I'm just showing because mine is not painted. This is the color of it. But the body is the ground itself. Spin it, feel the alternator. Sometimes it will make noise when it's on the vehicle. So those are the things you need to worry about. So what we want to do here now is I'm going to take this alternator and I'm going to take it down, and little by little we'll just connect everything. Okay, we're gonna put the wiring later now. Okay, so what we want to do here is let's take our alternator from right over here, and hopefully I'm not gonna be able to manage both of these at the same time. Okay, definitely not gonna be able to manage it, so I'll see if I can mount my camera here or so. But you know what, let me just take this in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just grab this guy. I'm gonna try to go in this first just like that, and try to get it in just like that from right up here. I'm sure you guys can do it, but anyways, we also need to take off the back housing so far, so we still got one step to do. Okay, so back of this alternator you have number 8, and the number 8. Very important to put this baby on because this is how it's gonna vent the air out of there. So let's take this cover off. That's everything, but it doesn't want to come out. It might have some type of clip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force this baby off. Okay, so we got our new alternator. We got the cover off, the other one. So it has 1, 2, 3, so it fits on it perfectly. Okay, how does it go? Okay, it goes in this direction, just like that. It's only gonna go on one way. It might not even fit in the wrong direction. There you go. Smack it on. And then, okay, so I'm gonna try to don't cross thread the threading. Take your time with it, easy. All of my tools are just flying down. Catch the threads. Smack it in. This one, I think I just probably did some damage in it. So don't do what I just did. But it's fine. It's fine. It's a bolt that's never gonna come out. Try to turn it by hand first. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Come on, guys. Come on. Screw 3 view. Okay, nice and solid. So I'm gonna drop the alternator in, and then we'll see what we're gonna do next. Okay, so just so you guys know, I got this bolt in. You're gonna have to hold this alternator in place. Have help from somebody if you can't. But this baby's in. You do not want to put this thing in the wiring. You're gonna break them because that thing almost fell on me. You just try to go down, but you don't want to do that. So take it easy, take it slow. So what we're gonna do next is I am gonna unwind my wiring here, and prior to that, let's take this little cover here. So I'm gonna throw in the harness and then we'll just go down there, but I do need to put everything back in place up here and before I throw in the harness. And you know what, let me take off the tape and then I'll continue with the camera, because I don't want this thing, I'm taking off the tape and everything just falls down. Plus I'm not gonna be able to do it with one hand. So I got my taping off. Remember, the batteries are connected, so be safe and gentle. You don't want anything touching this guy, especially the body of the car. And slowly take it down and manage to get it right on to that stud. And we'll try to clip this in. Okay, what I'm gonna do is, I like to use, if this thing fits the old bolts, I like them. So we're gonna, yeah, definitely. So we're gonna make sure you tighten this bolt, because if you leave this bolt loose, you're screwed, okay? And plus, if you got the battery on, if you're turning your wrench, you don't want the wrench to go while it's on it, bring, you're gonna short circuit everything. But anyway, so far looking good. We're gonna put, the last thing we're gonna do is put the cover on, but let's go down. We're bottom of the vehicle, so right over here, as you guys can see, let's stick our hands in there. We got no room. So let me go from this side. Make sure your harness is not pinching anywhere. And make sure you connect that connector. Okay, that bolt is in. Cut threads. Let's catch threads with this bolt. Okay, I didn't catch any threads. I'm all off barley. Oh, I did catch threads. Let's see this one. There you go. That's it. And while we at it, let's push this connector in. Without this connector, your alternator is not gonna kick on. Make sure it clicks on really nice and good. Let's take our harness over here. Goes underneath this. This thing plugs in right over here somewhere. Right over here. Okay, I will get that, so I'm not gonna be able to do that with the camera in front of me. I'm holding the camera with the other hand. So clip that in. Once everything is tight, I'm gonna tighten it just like I showed you. Then tighten the bolt, make sure the connector's in, make sure you put the sensor in. We're gonna put the sensor in together. Okay, everything is tight, so make sure you tighten it, make sure your clips are in, your connector's in. So over here, we got the crank sensor. So the crank sensor has 2 bolts. So remember, this crank sensor is adjustable. So make sure you get it. Make sure it doesn't scrape the crank pulley. If you ever gotta change this crank pulley, make sure you mark it, because this crank pulley, what the sensor read is a crank pulley, and it does not have a little notch in the middle, like a little pin, like a key. So that's critical. So we're gonna take this baby right here. So we can see the sensor was locked in right there. So we still got all the markings there. So what I need to do here is grab my socket here. Gonna get it back in the same spot. Let's loosen it up a bit. Same spot that where we took it off from. That's where it was at. There you go, perfect. And you should have just enough clearance between the teeth. And make sure this is nice and tight, hand tight. Don't try to electric drill it anymore. You will crack the sensor. And do not leave it loose. And make sure you have just enough gap between the sensor and the teeth in there. Anyways, put the cover on. Oh well, before that, put the belt on, and you're all done down here. So that's the rest of the part. All you need to do is get the belt on the alternator, or however you want to do it. And I am really tired right now. I'm just not gonna continue with the video, but I am gonna go up, and once I take a break, and we will come back once the belt is on. We still need to tighten the bolt up on the top. Anyways, we're all set over here, and we will continue. And my camera is down to 10% on the battery. Okay, so most of the job is done. So make sure, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my fingers all around this so I don't touch that bolt, that's live power, and hit somewhere. So slowly and gently, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snug that bolt in and make sure I don't hit nothing. And there you go. That looks pretty good to me. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's close up the covers. There
There you go. So these probably not gonna work well with the new alternator, but let's see how this baby feels. There you go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna fix that up, but I still need to tighten some of these bolts. 13 and everything in the bottom is tight. So let me grab some of my tools. Okay, so looking so good. So far, looking so good. And let's put this baby on. Okay, so let's lock this up. And that's it. This is all set to go. Our phone keeps ringing. We'll get to it when we have time. But anyways, time to put this cover on. So remember, it has two 8mm that we took off earlier. So make sure you get this guy properly the way it was. So this thing was sitting. It was sitting in here, just like that, to protect. And that opening right there goes in here. So okay, if it fell, that's even better. Now I can come up and clip right in. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, I am sure. So it's supposed to be like that. There you go. Perfect. So the two number 8s, and you're all done. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how you're gonna replace the alternator on this Mazda 6. Okay, once you're all done, you want to take your voltmeter, have it on DC voltage here, right here, and it should give you above 13 volts. Okay, so this is perfect. Okay, you see that? I got a positive and negative connected to the battery. So right now we're getting 100% voltage out of this alternator. If it drops below 13, that's the issue. So battery light comes on, it's due to bad alternator. Anyway guys, give it a good 5-10 minutes, let it run, let it check, so you never know when that alternator is going to cut off. Thank you for watching.